everyone, and welcome back to That's So Matthew. I am so excited to have a very special guest here with me today. Say hi, introduce yourself.
Hi! Hello everyone, my name is Karina, and no, I do not have an American accent. I'm actually from England, and I have a podcast. I'm a podcaster as well, called Confessions of a Talking Freak, and I'm very, very honoured to be here. So thank you so much, Matthew, for having me.
I'm honored to have you.
Honestly, like when we turned around and said, "Oh, can we collab?" I was like, "Yes, I so want to collab because we have so many things to talk about, and I love Disney so much."
Yes.
But yeah, like I'm a podcaster. I'm also a radio presenter and musician, like my day to day. But yeah, that's what I do in little old England.
That's so exciting. Well, I am so excited to have you here today on the podcast. Yes, we kind of met. I don't really know how. I think on Instagram somehow.
Literally, it was from our socials, and I was like, oh, "That's so Matthew. That's so good because that's so Raven, but it's not." And I was like, "This is totally me." So I was like, "Yes, we need to."
And then then you would be on my lives, and we would chit chat, and it was just amazing. And then I was like, "We should collab."
Yeah.
And here we are.
Here we are. Like, this is it. Like, you know, if you don't ask, you don't get. So
I know. If you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, no, I'm such a fan. As I say, I was recently on a radio interview the other day, and I mentioned Matthew because he was one of those podcasts that I had never come across. Like I didn't know that. I mean, don't get me wrong, on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you always, you see a lot of things and you can talk about everything. But for me personally, I'd never seen a podcast dedicated to Disney. I don't know why. I never searched for it. I didn't think that was a thing. And then when I came across Matthew, I was like, oh my God, you have enlightened me. I love it. And I'm a massive fan. And I mentioned you on the show, and I was like, it has to happen. And they loved you and they listened to you, which was amazing. And I was so gassed. And I was like, yes, please. Like, if you can.
I listened to the interview because you had mentioned that you mentioned me on the radio. So I went and listened to it in Link Your Bio, and I was like a fanboy the whole time. I was like, oh my God. And
see, you're a fan. I was a fan of you. I was like fangirling. I was like, I love Matthew, please.
This is making me so happy, everyone. I am so excited to have you. So thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you.
And today, I don't even know if we've mentioned our topic yet.
No, we have not. Oh my goodness. See, this is why this is so... This is why we're crazy, because we haven't even mentioned what we're talking about.
It's okay. We're gonna do this. So today we're talking about Lindsay Lohan's DCOM 2002's Get a Clue.
Yes!
Yay!
Yes!
I'm so excited.
I love that film. Yeah, like honest to God, that film was just my life. Like, it was one of those films that when it came out, was it 2002?
Yes.
It came out? Yes. So when it came in 2002, I absolutely loved it. And I still love it for some reason, because Lindsay Lohan, for me personally, I mean, I could be talking out of my backside. Do you know what I mean? Not many people will agree, but I don't know if you relate to me, Matthew, but for me, Lindsay Lohan was one of those Disney icons, like classic.
Oh, I love Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
She is so iconic. I love her.
Absolutely. And yeah, like for me, she made Disney. You know, she came out with some incredible Disney films. Get a Clue, obviously Confessions of a Drama Queen.
So good.
Oh, don't. I literally relate to me. That's literally me to a T. Like, I relate so badly.
Freaky
Friday. Yeah. Yes. See, it's things like that. It's films like that. And obviously she was a very young actress because she came from The Parent Trap, and she did all of that stuff with Disney as well.
Movie too.
Exactly.
Mean Girls, that's not Disney, but Mean Girls, so good. I love Mean Girls.
Oh my goodness, I was so excited when it went on Netflix. I was like, oh, I need to watch.
But then they took it off here in America. I don't know if it's still on for you.
No, we still have ours. But
don't worry. They gave us Mean Girls 2 on Netflix. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yes.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. I'm like, Do you know what? Because the first one is so iconic, I generally thought they were going to do a Mean Girl 2, but not the exact same plot. Like, I wanted it a little bit more different. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, they went different.
They went different, but a very odd different.
Yeah, it was really weird. It's basically, funnily enough, like a Disney Channel reunion, because we got Camp Rock, Jonas Stars, everyone, Wizards of Waverly Place. They just brought everyone together for this movie. That makes no sense at all.
No, and I was Mean Girl 2, so disappointing. So disappointing. Obviously, I know obviously Legally Blonde isn't part of this and we shouldn't be talking about it, but
I love Legally Blonde too. So.
Yeah. But Legally Blonde, the first one, fantastic. Absolutely
so
love.
Chef's kiss. Mwah.
Love Reese Witherspoon. I think she's a fantastic actress and I just love her. She's just iconic. Again, another icon. What can I say?
So iconic.
But the second one disappointed me. I don't know. I don't know. I see the second one. I'm like, oh no, this is all about the dog. It's not about you. I want to be about you. The first one was about you. Now the second one's about the dog. No.
I know. I think that was another movie that I watched when I was sick a couple years back. I had never seen the second one. I had only seen the first one, and I was so disappointed. I was let down. I was betrayed.
Honestly, I just felt so sad. I was like, no, this could have been so good.
It had potential.
Like, it had so much potential. And I feel like when you do one film and it's so amazing, just a massive note to self and all the directors out there: don't do another film. Leave it. Literally, don't do it. Don't do it because it ruins it. It ruins the whole perception of the whole story and the whole the whole vision that you created. You just ruin it with the second film because it's not as good as the first one.
It's never, except for, I think the only exception is, and you might not agree, High School Musical 2.
See, as we were talking earlier, like for me, High School Musical is a thing. Obviously, if I was gonna rate the High School Musical films, the second one is not. It doesn't rank because it's not as good as. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're like the second person that I've talked about this with on the podcast this week who has disagreed with me. But that's okay because everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So I respect your opinion.
I am so sorry. I love it. Don't get me wrong.
It's so good. It's good.
Yeah, like I will watch it and I love it. Like huma huma nuka nuka aqua. Like I love the whole thing. Like it's so good. It's so me. It's so me. And I'm not gonna lie. Everyone wanted to be Gabriella. I wanted to be Sharpay because I am
why
Sharpay.
Wouldn't you want to be Sharpay?
Literally. So for me, I loved it, but when I want to rank it, I'm like, for me, the third one is mine. I think it's incredible.
Wow. So that's actually a hot take. I don't think I've had that hot take so far here on the podcast. But
really?
I'm here for it. I respect that. It's always interesting to hear like the different opinions because everyone's so different, especially with High School Musical. There's like such a wide argument, I guess. And so I still have yet to cover the third one here on the podcast. But for the first two, I covered it with my friend Mia. So I'm kind of waiting for her. And we're going to talk about it. To do the whole trilogy.
Yes!
And I think it's going to be really cool. But yeah, that is so funny because I've never heard that before. But I really respect that.
Yeah, like I feel like for me, maybe it's just, I think, as you say, everyone has their own opinion and thinks of it and takes films in their own way. But for me, the third one really hit home because everything that, Troy, Gabriella, and the musical and making it like their own show. Oh yeah,
it's so good.
A whole lot. For me, it was very much reality when I was watching it because
I think the music is the best in the third one.
Oh, I love it.
So good.
The boys are back.
Oh, that's a bop. That's a whole bop. I love that one.
Literally, like it's so me. And yeah, it was something that I was going through at school. Like I was either like a lead and someone else didn't like it, or like or something like that. And again, it was just really relatable. And I was like, this is me right now. I'm pretty much Gabriella, but I don't want to be Gabriella.
Yeah, you want to be Sharpay.
I want to be Sharpay, but I'm not. I want to be Sharpay, but obviously, you know, everyone sees like, oh, you got black hair, brown hair. You should be Gabriella. I'm like, no.
No, Sharpay. Ashley Tisdale is the way to go.
I love her so much. I think she's incredible as well.
She is. I love her.
But right, let's get back to Get a Clue because I feel like we're going on tangents.
We always go on our little tangents, and that is totally okay because it's That's So Matthew. It can be so crazy.
Exactly.
But yeah, let's get into it with my brief overview. You guys know I love my brief overviews. I've been doing them since episode 1, but we're here. Okay, so Got a Clue is a 2002 Disney Channel original movie which stars Lindsay Lohan as Lexi Gold, who is a high school student who starts investigating a potential murder.
Absolutely.
It's really dark. I think this is one of the darker Disney Channel original movies.
It actually is, you know, like every single like Disney original, it's always been like, you know, fairy dust and pixie dust, and it's all fabulous.
No,
and
not this one.
This one isn't. This one is so meaty and so juicy from the get-go. It's like a murder mystery. Wow, this has never been on Disney.
Yeah, I was not expecting. I had no idea what I was expecting, to be honest. I was kind of expecting kind of like maybe like a Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen.
Sure,
kind of like that, because the posters are like kind of similar. We're getting the same vibes. No, complete departure from that.
So different. And yeah, like the artwork, as you mentioned, is so iconic.
Oh, I love the artwork. I love the glasses also are such a statement.
Yes! This is why I'm wearing mine.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I was like, what can I do that I can feel Lindsay Lohan, like, Get a Clue vibes? So I was like, I need to wear my glasses. Even though I don't need to wear them, I'm going to wear them because
it just, like, adds that little spice.
Exactly. Obviously, they're not as, you know, vibey as hers, you know. They're all, like,
hers are vibey, iconic vibes.
Exactly. And unfortunately, I don't have that iconic vibes anymore. So I was like, well, these will do.
They will do. I think they're great. I think it's a nice touch.
Thanks.
Oh my gosh. And also, this movie stars Brenda Song. And if you guys have been listening to the podcast here for a while, you know I love Brenda Song so much.
You've literally covered so much of Brenda Song,
I know,
which is amazing.
I think the only couple things left are Stuck in the Suburbs, which is another DCOM.
Yep.
Really good. I like that one. And Sweet Life, the first one, the OG.
Oh my God. Yes. Oh my goodness. Wow.
I know. Other than
you've
that,
gone through so much. Oh my goodness.
Technically, if we're counting her new Disney show that she does the voice in, Amphibia, I don't know if you've heard about it.
Yes. I mean, I've heard. I've not. As I was like mentioning to you earlier, like I'm very classic Disney. So all the new stuff that comes out, I'm like,
it's okay. I don't love it. Because I like to give the stuff a chance. Like, I watch it. Yeah. Like, I give it a chance. And 9 times out of 10, I'm left disappointed.
Like Sunny with a chance, right?
Oh, love Sunny with a chance.
I love Sunny. So again, good. Why is that not on Disney Plus?
It is. For me, at least. For in America.
Oh, it's not for us in the UK.
I'm so sorry.
That's fine. I'm going to cry after this now.
It wasn't for the longest time. I think they only added it like last April.
See, this is what I find so annoying. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, we're in different
But you
states.
guys have the better Netflix.
We do. Yeah. I don't know. Do we?
I think you do. I mean, if you have Mean Girls, I've heard that the UK has the superior Netflix.
No way. I don't know, because sometimes there's a few things that we want to watch that you guys have.
Yeah, I guess either way, both sides
so annoying.
Could lose.
Like, I think it was. I know this is very off topic. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We go off topic.
But there was, you know, like the Ted Bundy films. I don't know if you like heard of the documentary or the film with Zac Efron and.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that one. What's it called again? I can't even remember.
I don't know, but I know what you're talking about.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. So that film only broadcast on. So it's a Netflix film, but it only broadcast in American Netflix. It didn't broadcast for us. So we had to. I mean, I shouldn't be saying this, but we illegally pretended that we're from the US and like changed our Netflix so that it was US.
That's
Netflix
okay. I mean,
to watch it.
What are they gonna do? Like, right?
I mean, please don't shoot me.
I mean, I won't snitch. I won't snitch. I hope none of the listeners will snitch on
Please
you.
don't. Please don't. This is a very long time ago. This is like 2 years ago. So I've
yeah.
never done it since. I've never done it since.
Just forget about it. It never happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, no. Oh, that's really interesting. That we might have the better Netflix. I mean, yeah, we still do have Mean Girls. Do you
have The Office?
Yes.
We don't have The Office anymore.
No.
Yeah, so I don't know. Off those two topics, those two titles, I think you guys might have the superior Netflix.
I feel like, I think we might win.
Yeah, they've been taking a lot of stuff off because we have like a lot of new streaming services like Disney Plus, and then there's like Paramount's streaming service and all these new ones. Yep. So I feel like, and then HBO has one, I think now, HBO Max.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have that, but.
Yeah. So you guys, all the titles that would be on Netflix are all on different things. But for you, if you only really have Netflix and Disney Plus, you're set.
That's literally what we have. So yeah, so we have Netflix, Disney Plus. We have Now TV.
Oh, I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
I don't think it's an American thing. I think it's just
I don't think so.
UK thing. Oh, interesting. Yeah, we have a Now TV, and what other subscription do we have? I think that's it. Yeah, Now TV, Netflix, and Disney Plus.
Oh no, here we have like 500 different
services.
And some of them you're like, there's a lot of them where you'd be like, I want to only watch one show on this said streaming service.
Really?
Yeah, because like here's like with all of them having so many different unique things, some of them only have like one big title that they took off of Netflix. Like Pretty Little Liars is no longer on Netflix for us.
We still have that.
Oh, I have some of the DVDs. I have some of the DVDs. Like we have Hulu and all that, so like all these different things.
So we don't have any of that. No.
Wow. See, honestly,
this
has been a really insightful discussion for me because I just know that you guys had the better Netflix, but now I understand why, because you only have limited competitors. But here we have...
Yeah, we don't have loads of... Yeah, we don't have subscriptions like you guys.
So many unique subscriptions.
I can't believe that. That's a bit insane.
It's a little annoying, personally, because you're like, I really want to watch this. Oh, wait, I'll get it. But there's nothing else I want to watch on the streaming platform. So it's like a waste.
Really? So do you have to... So, for example, like, obviously you have Netflix, you have another one. And because they're so unique, and they only have certain programs on that channel, do you have to still get the subscription for every single one if you want to watch like a particular series?
I mean, I guess. I mean, I limited myself to Disney Plus and Netflix.
Cool.
Anything else, I really don't have. But there's definitely certain things that I want to watch on like CBS's thing or HBO. But there's not enough that would draw me in to pay each month.
The subscription, yeah. Oh, wow. That's so crazy. Oh, wow.
I know. So I don't know. I think that's very interesting. I didn't know that there was like such a difference, but I mean, it all makes sense now.
Yeah, because we just don't have access to... Yeah, we don't have access to subscription stuff. Like, as I say...
I'm on my way to the UK, I guess.
Come over! I will give you a nice tour.
I've always wanted to come to the UK so bad. Like, if England, you ever do, everything. So,
if you ever do, like, hit me up. I will. Be your
I
tour
literally
guide.
want to. Ever since I was little, there was a show, very off topic, called House of Anubis. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I used to watch it. Yeah.
My all-time favorite show.
I love House of Anubis.
Love it. And I have been obsessed with going to, like, because the place that they film at is, like, a real place. Absolutely. I would love to go there.
Yes! We could totally make that happen.
Oh, my gosh.
We could totally make that happen.
I would die. Now, see, if I wanted to watch House of Anubis, but I have the DVDs, but I could pay for the CBS All Access, I'm pretty sure it's on. But that's all I would pretty much watch.
Oh, wow.
So it's really interesting.
See, we could just watch House of Anubis. Like,
yeah, I have the DVDs, so like, there's no point. But like, if I'm just saying, if I were to like be like, oh my gosh, I want to watch on a streaming platform, I would have to pay for something that I wouldn't use besides the one show.
That is so crazy. Oh wow, this is very weird. But
this is really insightful. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
the listeners are like, they're probably like, just hurry up and get to the topic already.
Yes, please, because.
All right, we're gonna listen to the listeners like they're right there with us.
I'm so bored.
I
Absolutely.
mean, most of
Absolutely.
them are actually from France, so I don't really
Oh
know
wow.
how.
Oh wow, that's so interesting.
That's
That's
really
so
confusing to
interesting.
me, but yeah, bonjour.
Bonjour, ça va?
Oh my, yeah, I know
Ça
very
va
much. I
très
take
bien.
French. I take French, but I don't know that much.
I already know like bonjour, ça va très bien, or qu'est-ce que c'est la
Oh, like
bibliothèque?
that's like how they start the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I take French. I should know better. I should
Or
know
like
better.
or like j'ai mangé,
Oh,
I ate
yes.
or
I
stuff like that.
eat. Or
Like,
je bois.
yeah, j'ai but I feel like that's where
I
I
know.
studied German. I didn't study
Oh, I've always
French.
wanted to learn. I've also wanted to learn sign language.
That's a massive mood. Like that's been really popular
I know.
lately.
I know very little. Like I know how to say my name. Like that's super cool. But like I want to learn more.
That's so interesting. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so Matthew. We're just
That is
vibing.
literally
I love
that's
it.
just a
Okay.
vibe.
So here we go. Back on to get a clue
Right,
for all
yes.
of the listeners.
Let's go.
So let's honestly just kick off with the characters. So up first, we cannot excuse the amazing Lindsay Lohan. Her
Ugh,
character, Lexi Gold,
Lexi Gold.
is a journalist, investigator, spy. I guess so many amazing things. So
She literally is. Like she's one of those characters that is an incredible main character. Do you know what I mean? Like she
so
has
good.
everything.
Her plot was one of the best I think in this movie. Like her character, they really focused on her. And sometimes I'm like, why would you not give like as much screen time to the others? But for her, I was okay with it.
Yeah, because it is literally. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah,
Mhm.
everyone is very very good. I
Oh,
mean,
they're
there's
all
some.
good. They're all good.
Yeah, like obviously Gabe didn't really have much of
No,
an
they like
input. You know what I
didn't
mean?
even pay attention to him for like the whole movie.
Literally, literally, like there wasn't really much of a thing with Gabe, but whereas the other three, which was what are their names? Oh my goodness! So we got
So we have
Lexi,
Jen, who is Brenda
Jen,
Song, and
absolutely.
then Jack. Did we talk about Jack? No.
No.
And then Nick,
Yep.
who is, or I should say, his AKA Mr. Walker. Like
Yes.
he has
Nicholas
two personas.
Petrovian.
And then we had the parents. So we had Frank, and then we had the teacher, Miss Dawson.
Miss Dawson. Yep.
And then we had Charles Meany, who is like the detective.
Yes. The fake detective.
Yeah. Then Mrs. Stern, Mr. Goldblum, and then the little sister, Taylor.
Taylor.
So
she's very cute.
she's really cute. At first, I was a little annoyed with her, but then like I grew to love her.
Yes, like at the end, like when obviously I know we're talking a little bit into the plot, but like when she then helps her sister.
Oh
Lexi,
yeah,
it's like,
I was really happy with that.
I
Like at the
was so
beginning, I was
cute.
like, she's so annoying because she like acts like she is super smart, probably smarter than I am.
Yeah.
But she was like, I was like, oh, why are you being like this? Why are you like this? But I grew to like her at the end.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, just going back to obviously our main character,
Mhm.
Lindsay, I think, yeah, Lindsay got given this incredible, main character role,
Oh,
and
so good.
she nailed it. She nailed
it was very
every single thing.
complex. Yeah, it was really
Absolutely.
complex. I feel like you got to see like a side of her that was kind of like a clueless teenager at the beginning, but then in the end you get to see her as she like solved this whole mystery that made absolutely no sense if you think about it.
No. It really doesn't. Like the plot itself, like the actual story doesn't
the story
make
is
sense.
like in 50 million places but where it should be.
Yeah.
But I feel like she did such a good job. And so and this is pretty much still early in her acting career. Like I don't know how she was in 2002, but she was rather young. This was before Mean Girls. Like this was before like some of her bigger titles. She did so good, and she was basically in every single scene.
Honest to God, like every single thing they cut to, she was in it.
I know,
and it's fantastic because it's basically it's like a doc. It's like a documentary.
Yeah, it's like you were watching a documentary of the events unfolding. like
Yes,
as
and
they were
she was the
happening.
one. Yeah, and
And
she's
it
the
was so
one
good.
doing it. Yeah, absolutely. And this is why, yeah, I'm just a massive fan of. Obviously, we might be a little bit biased because we love Lindsay Lohan
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
we're probably totally biased.
Yeah, we might be totally biased in that sort of in that sort of context. But I even if I just take my love of Lindsay Lohan to the side, like I think the actual character itself, compared
It's
to the other characters, was the best
mm-hmm.
character and the best person to do the character.
Yeah.
I think about it now and I think, oh, I don't think anyone could have done that character as well as she could.
And she was so young. Like that to me is just so mind blowing.
Like I bet she was just, I think she was like 15, 16,
Yeah, my age.
maybe. You're literally your age. I think
I
she
would
was
not be able to do anything as good as Lindsay Lohan at 16.
but no, I like just thinking about it. I think she would be like your age, 15,
Yeah,
16,
she
doing
would.
this.
I
And
think
like, yeah.
so good. I'm just like in awe of Lindsay Lohan. But her character too, they like actually developed her character. Like we saw some character development. Like the only character that saw any character development, honestly. Everyone else was just like there. Like she was the main character. Like no
100%.
one else. It was her world. Everyone else was just living in it. Like that's how
Yep.
it was. That's how they made the film. And I am not mad about it.
No, I don't hate it. I think that's why it's a good film because it's literally an insight of Lindsay Lohan. Like it's just her. It's
It's
her,
just good. It
her
makes
character
sense.
Lexi, and it makes sense. Like I don't think
So good.
if everyone else had the same sort of screen time as her, I don't think I would have been that interested.
I probably
If I'm
would not
honest.
have liked it at all.
No, I'll be honest because I don't know if you relate, Matthew, but for me, Jack Donovan, I think
Mhm.
he's called Bug Halls in real life. I might be wrong.
Yes.
But I think he's called Bug Hall. He didn't do it for me. I'm
He-
not a massive fan.
He did nothing to further any part of the story.
No, I think he actually annoyed me.
Oh, he did.
Funny enough.
I wrote that down in my notes and I was like,
Did
I
you?
wonder if she will agree.
Yes, no, he really annoyed me because like I feel like she was the one, Lexi was, covering the case and like doing everything and he was
Mhm.
like that negative person
Yeah, he was always
constantly.
like, yeah, I don't think we should do this. He was like bringing her down. He
Yes.
was just there to be annoying and I was not a
Yes.
fan. And she like didn't
No,
let
and
it get to her at all. She was like
exactly.
such a good.
Mm.
She did not take any of that.
Exactly, and I mean, fair enough. I find the directors very cheesy. The fact that they wanted like Jack and Lexi to be a thing. At the
Oof.
end, I was like, why? Why did you do that?
I don't
Like,
know why
no.
they tried. Like I don't think she was interested. She was not interested.
No, I'm just gonna say she no, just
No.
not interested.
No, she was not interested.
No,
at all.
and I was just really, I was like, why are you trying to make it a thing when it's not a thing? Same thing as Gabe and Jen. Like, why are they making it a thing as well? I don't get
hate
it.
when shows and TV, like movies in general, force characters together.
Yes,
When
because of the dynamics of it.
They don't need to be. They don't need to be dating. They always like try to throw in that relationship aspect, and it irritates. I could swear right now, but I won't. The crap out of me.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
I just really don't like how they just force that like narrative that isn't there. Like they're making something out of nothing.
Absolutely. And yeah, I completely agree with you. I think if they could have just been friends, like
yeah.
just make it as friends like they
Good
were,
friends.
and
They can just be friends.
yeah,
They don't need
and
to be anything else.
exactly. And I think it also plays, I mean, this could be something that I might have picked up from the film, but I hate it when I think back then you don't see that, but now looking at it as, because back then, how old would I have been? I would have been probably like 8, 9, 10, roughly that age when I watched that film. Obviously it came out in 2002. I wasn't 8 or 9 or 10 at that time. But by the time I watched it, I was around that age anyway. But for me, looking at it now, it kind of plays in the whole notion, well, why can't a girl and a boy be friends? Like, why do you need to do a relationship
It's such annoying.
out of that? It doesn't
like,
need to be.
I agree with you Because like 99% of my friends are girls. Like it's just how they are. Like they just are
It's just a
nicer.
thing.
I'm just saying
Yep.
it. They're nicer. And
Yep.
everyone's always like, "Oh my gosh, Matthew, you and like Sylvia, who's one of my friends who's been on the podcast, they're like, oh my
Yes,
gosh,
Sylvia.
ooh." Like
Oh,
it's just
see,
such a weird narrative for me.
it's so annoying. Like I think I'm exactly the opposite as to you. Like for me personally, I get along with men than I do
Mm-hmm.
women. Maybe that's just a thing. But
Yeah.
like I do get along with many, so I have more boy mates than I have girl mates. But yeah, straight away, if you get like cuddly or very familiar with a guy, they're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, Karina is so and so. Like, are you a thing? Like, no, I'm really not. I'm just a normal person.
Yeah, that's the amount of times even one of my listeners, I think, sent something in with one of my friends, with one of my good girlfriends. They're like, oh my gosh, you
No.
guys are such a cute couple. You guys have such good chemistry. And this was just in a podcast episode. And I was like, no.
I love that. No,
And
just
me and
no.
my friend laughed about it for like a whole month. It was just,
It's just funny.
it's so funny.
It's so funny. I think it's brilliant. And yeah, I think Disney, obviously we love Disney. That's why
Oh,
we're
yeah.
talking about it.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here, we love Disney. But I do think a lot of Disney like narratives and plots, I think they always love that whole happily ever after, sprinkle a little fairy dust and make it a relationship.
Irritates me. It just irritates
And I'm
me.
like, no, why couldn't the film just they all friends and they live great, like they're just really best friends and they do
Mhm.
everything together now. They don't
Yeah.
need to be relationships. So that was one of the things that really irritated me.
Yeah.
And he just, as I say, Jack Dunn, he annoys me.
He just irritated me, and I love how we just
Dowdy,
killed
sorry.
talking about Lexi and Jack in like the same sentence. I don't even, was that his name, Jack?
Jack. Jack.
So just we didn't like that, and I feel like that was the one thing I didn't like about Lexi is she kind of like gave in at the end when she clearly the whole movie was not interested.
Yes, I completely agree. I mean, with the character of Jack, you don't really see what he's about until like 3/4 of a film anyway. Like when they
Yeah.
go and see when they go and find Nicholas
Mhm.
Petrovian, which we'll go into it in a minute. But when they go and find him and then they find him like near his neighborhood.
Yeah.
Bless bless Lexi, she's never gone on an underground before.
Oh, that was
or a
so
subway.
funny.
That was very great.
He basically, I think, was like trying to make like a weird date out of it, if that makes sense. Like, oh my
Yes,
gosh, I'm gonna take you
yes.
on the subway for the first time, or like the underground, or whatever you want to call it. And I was like, I was really confused, slightly concerned.
Yes. I was a bit like, okay. There's no need
It
for
was
that.
also a really weird plot point for her. Like everyone was like freaking out, like when she was like, "Oh, I've been on there," and then like Jen was like, like it
You
was
haven't
so
been on a
weird.
subway.
It was just like, I don't know. I was really weird. It was just confusing for me.
Yeah, no, I didn't get the plot. That little bit, I was like, why? What's so? I mean, I understand she's rich, and obviously, maybe rich people don't need to use the
they don't take
subway.
the subway. I
They
guess.
take that. I mean, I know quite a lot of, I know quite wealthy people that still use the underground in London. Like that's
Yeah.
just a thing. And I'm sure there's people in America that
Yeah,
are wealthy.
I went on a subway once. I a couple times in Washington D.C., which is the capital, I guess.
Yeah.
And I went there, and I was just like, I don't think it was like that. If like how they portrayed it in the movie was like such the hype. I like, man, it's just a train that's underground.
And it just takes you from A to B.
Yeah. So what their fascination in this movie was with the subway / underground, whatever you want to call it, was so weird.
Yeah, no, I found that I was just a bit like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jack did
Jack
not get
is-
our approval.
No, Jack is not a thing. Let's go to Jen.
Oh,
Jennifer.
Jen. So Jen, Brenda Song, love her. We love Brenda. And
Yes.
so she is her only plot point, which kind of irritated me, was that she was in love with fashion.
Yes.
And it's the same thing.
I feel like she's done. I feel like I've seen her do that a lot of times.
Yeah. In
It's not her
Sweet
only
Life,
role.
it's all fashion.
Yeah.
In Wendy Wu, her character's basically London Tipton, and we talked about that in the episode. It's basically the same thing. In Stuck in the Suburbs, I haven't watched it in like a year, but that I'm pretty sure she's also like
She
talking
is
about
another.
fashion.
Yep, she's another fashion icon in there. Yep.
So what's their fascination with her and fashion?
This is the thing. I don't understand that. That really did annoy me because, as you say, every single role she does, it's always fashion,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what is the fascination of that. But like, this is gonna be slightly off topic, but I'm gonna bring it in and I'm
Okay.
gonna make it
I, I
make
I'm
sense.
I'm following.
So like, she is obviously Asian ethnicity
Yes.
and fantastic, whatever. That's always encouraged and always incredible to have different ethnicity,
Always
etc.
welcomed.
Always welcomed. We love that. But I recently watched To All the Boys
Mm-hmm.
I
I
Loved
did
Before,
too.
and I love that film so
It's a
much.
good one.
It's a good one. If anyone hasn't watched it yet, please watch the
Please go
third
watch
sequel
it.
because
It's
it's
very
so
good.
good. But again, what I loved about that film is that again she is an Asian ethnicity, and they've transformed and made this role incredible and made her a Asian ethnicity woman in New York, in US, and she and the director, I can't remember her name off by heart. It's literally on my tongue, but I can't remember it.
I I know who you're talking about, but
Do
I
you know
don't
who
know
I'm
their
talking about?
name.
But she's also Asian as well, and she's just fantastic. She's incredible, and she really does homage to her background, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's incredible.
I agree.
And I think it's very similar with Jen the character. I think they should have played her. This is what I'm going to try and connect it. They should have played her like the star of the To All the Boys I Loved Again. They should have played her a little bit like she's just an Asian ethnicity woman, incredible
Mm-hmm.
person in
Mm.
in the USA, and should have made it more a little bit more. I don't know, just a regular girl. Why is it
Yeah, I,
always
I I get
fashion?
where you're going because I feel like I'm not like trying to be rude, but usually in a lot of shows we get like the blonde white girl who's dumb,
Yes,
and then you get the really smart Asian, like a person of Asian ethnicity.
of
And
course,
so in Zack and Cody, they flipped it because you have Maddie who's super smart, and then you
super
have
smart.
London who is not so smart. And so I feel that they just didn't want to feed into like the stereotypical like smart Asian ethnicity person. But I feel like by just making her all about fashion in every single movie and like trying to make her like the same,
Absolutely, yeah.
it didn't benefit having her in the film.
No,
If that
I
makes any sense. I feel like that didn't make any
absolutely.
sense.
No, I completely get you, and I think it's the same thing as Stuck in the Suburbs. She's
Oh,
very like that with
yes.
her co-star as well. Again, it's the whole like whatever she does with the co-star in Stuck in the Suburbs, it's exactly the same as she does in Get a
It's
Clue.
like she's like following her around like
Same
a
role.
puppy, like in
Yeah,
this movie and in that movie
yeah,
too. And in Zack and
exactly.
Cody, in every film.
In every film, she's literally just following the crowd or following the person. I think
Yeah.
the only one that she doesn't do that is obviously Wendy Wu because she
Yeah.
is the
She
star.
is the main character.
She is the main character.
Which, if you guys
So
have listened to my episode on that, I was not vibing with that film. Me and my guest had lots of problems with that movie.
no.
Like, good. I love Brenda Song. I just could not get behind some of the movies, like
Yeah.
parts of the movie. Like, it felt very, to put it frankly, racist.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
did. And
Yeah, I
so
completely feel you. Yeah.
check out the episode, guys. We talked about it, and it's definitely worth a listen and a watch for
Yeah,
anyone who has not seen
I
it.
completely agree. It's a definitely a it's for me it's like a breath of fresh air because you see these movies and you're like, wow, they're so good.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you actually sort of what do you call it?
Deconstruct.
Deconstruct. Let's just use that. When we blah blah blah, can't spell today, I can't speak today. When we put it in parts, shall we say?
Yes, let's say that.
Let's just say that. You kind of discover different things and different themes, and you're like, actually, this film isn't as good as when I first watched it. I thought it was incredible. I could be a warrior, and I am the one that's going to defeat
I loved
evil.
it the first time. I mentioned that in the episode. I loved it the first time, but rewatching it, it just felt very problematic. It felt
Absolutely.
so stereotypical. I was just like, this is a mess.
Yes,
So
absolutely. And
Brenda
do you
Song
think that's
deserves
and do you
better.
think the reason why the perception has changed for you? Sorry, do you believe that by changing the perception, or like the reason why you change your perception,
Hmm.
sorry, is because of current society and current movement that's happening? Do you feel like that's
Yes.
yeah,
Honestly, yes. Because I feel like if you look back, it would have been, we also said this in the episode, it would have been great representation. It's like, oh my gosh, Brenda Song, her own movie, like this is big. This had never been done before. Because, like we said, she always followed the other characters around like a puppy.
absolutely.
So, like, seeing her, it was very great. But, like, looking back now, you see that they just made it so stereotypical, like, just copied and paste. And it just felt very wrong. Like,
Yeah.
they were like mocking accents, making fake Asian American accents
Yeah, no.
in
And
certain
that's not a thing.
parts, and like certain parts of the culture I felt like were mocked, and I was
Yeah,
just like, no. Like, it just felt very wrong to me, like, to watch that and say that I enjoyed it after like seeing how problematic that could have been to someone that was watching it. Like,
absolutely.
because like obviously I can't say that it's problematic personally. Well, I know it is problematic, but saying that, like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't notice how problematic it was unless like I sat down watching it by thinking, oh, this is problematic, or
this is wrong.
seeing,
Yeah.
listening to other people, because one of the guests that I had was also Asian American, that in that episode,
Wow.
and so like kind of hearing like what she had to say and then what I had to say, to see that they were similar, to like kind of see that perspective. And Brenda Song, I just felt deserved so much better.
Completely. I completely
And in
agree.
this
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
too, her character fashion, that's pretty much it. And then she has that little thing with Gabe at the end, I think they try to force.
Yeah, I just again, the forcing thing, I don't get why they tried to put these characters together. Um yeah, I was just a little bit disappointed with the character of Jennifer. I love the character of
Oh, I
Jennifer,
love
but
her. Like, I love her style, her
her
hair.
style.
Her hair was so good.
I love it when she used those chopsticks in her hair or pencils or whatever they
Oh my
were.
gosh,
Like,
her hair was just iconic.
yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. As I say, fashion wise, and I think the outfits just in general for everyone was. I mean, actually, let me just take the boys out of this because they didn't really have much
They
of a
did do
dress
like
style.
anything to further the plot.
No, they really didn't. But like the women, like Lexi and Jen, they did their fashion sense was on point. They were like two fashionistas and they were just incredible. Um so yeah, I think yeah, it's such a shame that Brenda Song didn't get the the right role. But then as you say again, like am I sad that she didn't? Probably not. I
No,
loved
I felt
Lindsay
like
as
it
a
was
main
good
character.
representation at the time.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
looking back now, I'm just like, oh dear. It just felt like,
No.
it just felt wrong.
Yeah.
And like, I know I'm probably gonna get some like comments. They're gonna be like, "Why? Like, you're just like trying to be woke, like Chris Harrison and his woke police or whatever." You're like, I'm just stating the facts. Like, anyone who watches that movie can see that it's just problematic, and like how they portray her, and almost every single thing she's done is just problematic. Like, period. I
Absolutely.
don't think you can be like, oh my gosh, they did such a good job like representing her and her culture, because they didn't. They
No,
didn't do a good job.
no, they really did. They
Period.
really
Like, end of
did.
story.
Fact. FACT. Fact
Yes.
dot.
Fact. We're done.
um, yeah. I think, yeah. And then Gabe, as I said from the beginning, Gabe is non-existent to me. He
He
doesn't
is just,
exist.
for anyone who doesn't know who we're talking about, Gabe, he is like the little videographer,
Yes.
photographer guy. And all the only thing, like, thinking back, I watched this last night. I was kind of late at night because I couldn't sleep, and I was like, I'll just watch the movie. So all I can remember is one scene when he goes up to Lindsay Lohan's character and is like, tell me how you always get the scoop, and shoves the camera in her face, and she like grabs the camera and turns it around and like talks to the camera. That's all I remember of him,
Yep.
and his little
That's
fling
it.
with Jen at the end.
Yeah, and I think the another iconic bit that he does as well that I remembered is when they're actually spying on
Oh,
Miss Dawson.
it's slightly creepy.
Yeah, it's weird, but I'm
I
like,
wrote stalker question mark. It just felt really weird. Like, they're stalking their teacher. Like, I mean,
No.
they're spying slash stalking, whatever you want to call it. It just felt so wrong. Like, to me, I was just like cringing. I was like,
Like, you just
ew.
don't do that. Like, it's
I don't know if
no.
you've ever seen the episode of iCarly where they do the same thing. They like spy on their teacher, like sneak into her house. It's the same vibes. It just feels wrong. Like, I can't even imagine being like going into one of my teachers, like watching my teachers. Like, you just don't do that.
No, absolutely not.
Like,
It's not a thing. It's not a thing.
it might be like a hot take, but like, just don't do it. Like, it's kind of the same equivalence of like being personally like being friends with your teachers or following your teachers on like social media while you still have them. Like, it just feels like it feels out
Yeah.
of place.
Yeah, like for me, I mean, I completely agree. Like, I won't follow my teachers unless I've left. And
Hmm.
that's if I have a really, really like cool bond with them as well. Like, if I have an
Yeah.
incredible bond, I think for me, personally, because I'm in the creative industry and I do music and performing arts, etc., etc., that sort of community is very close anyway compared to any other subject.
Yeah.
We're very, very close because we're very hand on hand, face to face. We're always constantly doing things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of gain that sort of trust and that relationship with your tutors and with your
Yeah.
teachers. And I'm friends with a lot of my tutors like today. Like, I'm very good friends with them. We like, they hire me for gigs and
Oh my
vice
gosh, that's
versa.
so
Like,
cool.
yeah, no, it's so nice. Like, the fact that it could be that sort of relationship is amazing. So yeah, but I didn't start following them until like at the end
Hmm.
of
I actually like
at the
I have
very
like
end.
a couple of my teachers' phone numbers and stuff. Like, one of my
Yeah.
teachers was on my podcast actually.
Yes, I saw. Yes,
We
yes, yes,
did an
yes.
episode of that. So we did That's the Raven and Lizzie McGuire because that was like her time because she was a younger teacher. So like that was her
Wow.
time. And so it was super cool. But we did do it while we were in school, I guess, like when I was still her student. So I guess you could kind of think, oh my gosh, it's a little weird. But like I went to like a small little private school, I guess. So like it's not really like a thing. It's like they're essentially like your teacher, like your friend. And like I'm still friends with her. Like I had lunch with her not too long ago.
That's so nice. I love that
So,
so
and she
much.
was like, "How's the podcast going? Like, how many episodes are you at by now?" And
Oh,
it's
that's
just so
incredible.
amazing. So, yeah,
Yeah, no, I think
there's a
things
fine
like that.
line
Yes,
between like
yes,
being friends and just full on stalking. And that's basically all
yeah.
Gabe did.
He just stalked.
Yeah,
He
it
just
was so
stalked the
creepy.
living
And like, how
crap
did they
out of
not even
everyone.
notice the camera? The camera was like going left, right, left, right, up, down, like the whole time.
Yes, and it was really squeaky, and like also it's right outside her window. So if she just looked out her window, the camera would be right there.
I'm sitting right in front of my window right now, and I'm paranoid that
That
there's
there
like
might be a
something
camera.
like because like I'm on the second floor of my house, so like there's like the roof not too far, and like if they were to hang a camera there, like they could see like me right now, and I'm just so paranoid that like there's like a little camera or
There's
something
like
there.
something that's coming.
So I'm always looking out the window. So like, how did she not know? Like,
Yeah, no, I
really
found
whack.
that. See, I think this kind of swifts like really nicely to the character of Miss Dawson,
Oh,
and oh, that's a
she was
that's a
kind
train
of
track.
in the beginning. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. Like, what a nice teacher. She also, I don't know if you've seen the show Once Upon a Time before.
Yes, I
She
have.
reminds me of the character that is Snow White. I can't think of her like storybook persona, the teacher.
Oh,
I don't know. It's just she reminds me a
I
lot of
know.
her.
Yeah, yeah.
She, like the way she talks, like she just reminds me so much of her. And she in the beginning, like she just seemed they try to make her look guilty. Like they try to make
Yes.
her
Oh
look
my
like
god.
she's the one who killed this guy, which dark.
I'm not gonna lie. I believed at the very
Oh,
beginning.
at
I
the
was like,
beginning I was like, "Oh my gosh,
that's so
she
her.
killed him."
Yes.
And then
Yes.
because she was like she didn't talk to like the principal because the principal was like asking her like questioning her and she was like I'll have to get my lawyers like looking at the camera like a really creepy
Literally.
I'll get my lawyers like
I
calm
was
down.
like, oh my goodness. Like, is it actually her? Like, what is the story?
I don't know.
And yeah, I was really surprised. Obviously, I was very surprised to the very end to find out what the hell was actually
Okay, the whole
what it
movie
was.
this is my listeners wanted some fun facts. So we're going to give them a quick fun fact about this movie.
Right.
They had a
Let's
whole
go.
separate ending to this movie. I don't know if you know this, but on the DVD they
Yeah.
have a whole separate ending. And so in this movie, spoiler alert, the guy Meanie character, the detective, quote unquote, he's not a real detective. That
Fake
guy
detective. Yeah.
is the like he's the villain. He's the one who is like out to get her. But in the actual one, it's Miss in like the first one, it's Miss Stern, who is like the one older teacher.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that they like didn't try to make Miss Dawson the villain, because I was kind of like thinking maybe originally she was, because they really like kind of portrayed that like narrative, but it wasn't, and she was just weird to me. I don't know what it was about her, but like the one scene when she was in like when she got kidnapped from the spa and then she like got
Yes, I was
shoved in
just
the
about to say that.
shower, when
Yeah, I
she
was
was
just about
shoved
to
in the
say that.
shower, she just gave me like weird vibes. I can't explain what. And then she was with that one guy like that they were spying on, and they were like watching them like kiss or whatever,
Yeah.
like on that
Yeah.
date. Like I don't remember, I don't even know who the guy was, to be frank. I don't know.
He's
But
another teacher, I believe.
oh,
He's another
ooh.
teacher from the school.
Ooh, well, I was just so confused. She was just so confusing. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like, I was trying to, like, follow her, but I just could not figure out what she was all about.
Absolutely. Like she, as you mentioned, like that spa scene was very odd. Like the whole, like she's stuck. Obviously, she's got tape around her mouth. She can't speak,
Mm-hmm.
and she's in like, a face mask
Got
and
her feet
gown, and the
soaking in
feet is
something.
soaking. Yeah, like it was really weird. And then like Lexi. Lindsay that plays Lexi. That's so weird, isn't it? Like a different,
It's
so
like a tongue
similar.
twister.
Literally. Then she's like, oh, you should get in the shower, but it feels like she doesn't know how to get, like, do you not know how to get in the shower?
Oh, yeah. It was.
Are you that dumb? Like, can you not get in the shower?
It, I know what you mean. She's a freaking teacher.
Yeah, like it's not that difficult.
I was just really,
It's just
like,
odd.
really concerned for her, I
And
guess.
do you not find, like, at the very ending when she reunites herself
Mm-hmm.
with Nicholas Petrovian,
Mm-hmm.
which is obviously Mr. Walker, just so that you guys
If you're
know.
not following, if you're a
You're
little
not
lost.
following, like you're a little bit lost. Do you not remember that at the very end when she comes down the stairs? It's like the weirdest, like it's like like slow
Okay.
motion stuff. Like
That marriage, wedding, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
that last scene was so out of place.
it didn't make sense.
It made no sense.
whatsoever.
They got reunited, and then the next shot, she's like coming down the stairs in like slow motion in her dress, and then they're like married. And then my favorite line is from the mother, Mrs. Petrovian, and she's like, "I'm finally gonna have grandkids."
Yes, she's crazy. She is
was
such crazy girl.
hilarious. Like,
She's so funny.
it was just so weird to me. I'm not even like gonna lie. Like that whole wedding scene and stuff, just I was very out of place, and I was just like, "Oh, okay." I don't know if
like
you
I
felt that way.
understand. Yeah, like I completely agree. Like especially at the very beginning, I understand that their story is obviously they are in love and they are teachers that like each other. Great, and then the whole plot is, oh, did she murder the guy that? Like
She's in love
was
with,
she upset?
or,
Yeah,
like-
like did she murder the guy that she's in love with? Like, did Lexi's article, annoy her that much that she was like, damn, let's get rid of you?
I know.
do,
It's
do you know what I mean?
it just
And
was
then,
really weird.
Yeah. It was just it was a little bit of a weird plot line, I must admit. Like that bit of the story was just like very unnecessary. Like it didn't make sense. It could have been thought out a little bit better.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, it got to the end, as you say. And then she comes down the stairs with her robe. And then they do like a slow motion round around bit. And then it's school time. They have a conversation on the bench. Lexi and Miss Dawson are like, oh, yeah, Nicholas is going to ask me a question or whatever his name,
Mhm.
whatever. And then, boom.
Married.
Dun, 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 dun.
It
They're
was
just married.
The end of the movie was so rushed.
Yes.
Like
yes, I
the
completely
leading
agree.
up to the climax was so slow in some parts. I'll have
Yes.
to admit, it felt really slow. Like it felt like it was a drag. Like I said, this is kind of late at night, but I'm later than I would rather admit.
Yes.
And I was just like, okay, so why are they like this?
exactly.
And then all of a sudden at the end, it was like boom, 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 and done.
Yeah.
And
And that
so
was it.
really confusing. And then the marriage is a great way to talk about Nicholas Petrovian and his character, aka
Yes,
Mr. Walker,
Mr. Walker.
who is like the whole point of this movie. He goes missing. Is he dead? Did Miss Dawson kill him? What happened to him? So I'm still a teensy little bit confused about his whole
Okay.
thing, his whole storyline, because I know he was like in Arizona, he was like framed for a crime.
Yes.
And so people were out to get him. And because of the article that Lexi published, people found him, aka the meanie guy,
Mini
who
guy.
was like
Yep.
pretending to be the detective. And so lots of stuff left and right, go, go, go. But I don't know. To me, he's just so confusing. Like I was kind of having a hard time following because when they first find him, he's like, "Oh, girls, come on in," or "Come on in," whatever. It just felt really
Yeah.
confusing.
It is because obviously you just know him as obviously Mr. Walker, and
But that's not his name. That's not
that's
even
not
who he
his
is.
name. No, that's a complete different. That's a complete different universe to who he actually is. So yeah, just to give, just to repeat what you said, like yeah. So I believe he was like a finance businessman,
Yeah.
and he did really really well. He was doing a lot of stock takes, and he was doing really well. He's winning some lovely, incredible money. And then basically Meanie is the big boss. Like
Mhm.
he's the boss of the actual of the business. And basically Meanie was jealous at the time that he was creating such a great
Oh.
relationship with everyone in the company and gaining all that money.
Now it makes more sense.
You get it? Yeah. So
He
yeah,
was like jealous and he couldn't handle
Yes.
it. So now he needed to get revenge and then get revenge again by coming back and like being a detective. Like
Yes.
his ego must have been so big. I don't know.
Exactly, because basically Meanie trying to frame Nicholas, Mr. Walker, by basically taking the money out of the business account and putting it in his account.
Oh.
And then
okay,
and then
gotcha.
he was just like, "Oh, this money's missing. Like I don't know where the hell is it actually gone?" Where in actual fact, the money didn't go anywhere. Mrs. Petrovian, which is Mr. Walker's mum, had it in those little bugs that they found out at the very end. That's where Meanie put all that money in and just left it on the ground, thinking, "Oh, Mr. Walker was just going to pick that up and sell it."
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, so
It's really complex.
It's really complex, but you have to really, as you say, it's very hard to understand it. If you're just going to watch it, you're like, what now? Who? Like, what? Where is this all coming? It doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
It doesn't. So when you sit down and think, okay, so what actually happened? Oh, so this person was jealous, and then he didn't like that, so he was just like, I'm gonna create a revenge on you. And that's when he changed his name to Mr. Walker instead of Nicholas Petrovian. And he went as a school teacher. And that's what he did. He did. I think he did history.
He pretended to be a teacher. Is that legal?
Yeah. I don't know if that's a thing.
I don't know. I know in the US they're like super picky like about like degrees and stuff because I actually want to be a teacher when I'm older. I want to go to college to be a teacher.
Wow.
And so like I know that like it's like a super big thing. So like I'm just like kind of laughing like this guy. I know it's a movie and like I shouldn't be thinking about this, but like it just doesn't make sense.
No, honestly, like it's crazy how they were like, yeah, you can change your profession, like your profession, like it's all good. Like you could be a businessman one day and a teacher the next day, and no one's gonna know.
I do have to give credit where it is due. His storyline is the most complex, I think, of any character.
Yes, completely.
Compared to Lexi, love her, but I think they focused as much on Lexi, I think, as they did on him, even though his storyline made absolutely zero sense until you just explained it again. And I'm watching and I wrote down like a ton of question marks. I was like, wait, what happened? Like Arizona, confusion. I was so confused. And
like,
now,
where is this all coming from?
It makes sense. It makes sense. Like I said, I was not processing things probably right. Like I said, it was late at night, but now it makes sense.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm here to clear it up. No.
Yes.
When I was your age, I absolutely thought the exact same. Like I was like, oh, this don't make no sense to me.
Yeah. Now it makes a lot more sense. It makes a lot more sense.
When you think about it and actually put the things together, it really, like as you say, his character is so complex, and you kind of, there's a beginning to end, and you know what what it is, you know, the storyline for
And
his
his
character.
and his like personality too. Also slightly creepy. He like invited the kids into his house. He's like, "Come on in, come on in."
Yeah, weirdo. No.
He was a little weird. I do have to admit, he was a little weird.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a
It
bit
was
weird.
just
You wouldn't do that if you were just a normal teacher.
I wouldn't I don't think I would go to my teacher's house even past teachers' houses.
No.
I just don't think you would do that. But yeah, maybe that's just me. Like maybe I'm weird. But I don't know.
No, you're not weird. I think it's the right thing. Like, I personally wouldn't go to a teacher's house. Odd. No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Well,
Unless
I
you
guess
know
this
them.
this goes to Mrs. Petrovian, I guess, who was also at the house. Fashion icon.
Yes. Wow. That is a statement, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, she
she's
also really
incredible.
wanted grandchildren. She really wanted her grandchildren.
I
She
think
wanted
that's all she cared
babies.
about. Yeah, like she just wanted children,
It
babies.
was really weird a little bit to the extent because she didn't mention it just once, not twice. I'm pretty sure it was like 3 to 4 times she
She
mentioned,
was
"Oh, I just
constantly,
want grandchildren."
yeah. And like, I can't wait to be a grandmother. I'm gonna be a grandmother at the end. I'm like, okay,
It was really
love.
funny. I was like, calm down though. I was like, calm down. She is I slightly at first a little weird, like if you think about it, because she like lied to the kids because she was like wanted to protect her son who was like in hiding.
Yes,
So I was like, oh
yes.
wait, maybe this lady was the killer. Like maybe did she kill her own son?
I thought that as well. Like, I thought when I first watched it, I was like, wait, did Mrs. Petrovian kill her own son? And thought,
I know. It was really confusing and her character actually made the most sense, which is really weird to say.
even though she's the most craziest and
I think
weirdest
she
character.
is the craziest. Like, I just want grandchildren. I'm gonna be a grandma. Like, oh my gosh, we get it.
Absolutely. No, yeah, she's an oddball, but I completely agree. I love her because she is odd.
Yeah,
And
I love her.
yeah, I
She
think
is
she's
iconic.
great.
She is iconic. And the red hair is also a statement. I love it.
Wow, isn't it just? She's
And
just
her
very
hair's
loud.
like big too. It was like not just like
It's proper like 60s vibe, like it's giving me 60s 70s vibes,
oh
and like
yes.
the massive glasses and like the pattern, like not matching patterns of floral and zebra and
Oh yeah.
green and pink
It was
and
good. I loved her. I loved
oh
her.
yeah, no, she reminds me of like a kooky auntie, like
Oh
you know what
yeah.
I
Or
mean?
like that
a
one
weird auntie.
like family member that like you're afraid to go visit because like they're like really like crazy, like energetic. That's like
Yes.
the vibes I get.
She is literally that vibe of that. She's literally that vibe. She just reminds me of that, of a crazy kooky relative that you think, oh my goodness, I don't want to visit you, but I think you're crazy and amazing. So
Yeah.
let's
But
just
you secretly want to go visit.
Yeah.
But you kind of don't.
yes,
That's what I got
exactly.
from her. No,
Yes.
loved her. I loved her.
She was great. Absolutely loved her.
And then I think the last no, we talked about pretty much everyone except for the little sister. We can't forget the
Oh
little
my
sister.
god, no, we can't forget about her. She's
Her
amazing.
glasses were a statement.
Oh my god, I love her. And yeah, no, I think she as you say, she's such a smart being, and she was annoying at the start. Like, I didn't like her
Oh, I didn't like
at the
her
very
either.
yeah, like I didn't like her because I was like, oh, you're so annoying and you're so smart, and it's just like, can't you let other people be smart? Like, can you not let
She
other
didn't let any other person in the movie get
No.
their second, like their chance.
no, and that's what I found really annoying. But and do you know what? I think I mentioned this to you earlier, but when I watched the film and I saw her, I was like, I so want to be like you in a way.
Oh, I want to I want to be that person. I want to be the person that is so smart that everyone's like scared to talk to me.
Exactly. And I thought to myself, right, well, I want to be that person. I want to be that smart person. And I love the gadgets and I love all the stuff that they had. And
Yeah,
she
I
was
would
incredible.
thrive. Like,
She was
in that.
incredible. Yeah, literally. Like, it was like these motions, like devices that I would never looked in my life. I was like, where are you getting this? Where would a child?
Yeah,
of
how did
that
they
age
afford
get this?
this? Like,
Like-
I mean, they are pretty rich. Like, you can tell that
Yes.
Lexi's family is rather rich. However, I was just like, oh, money.
Literally. And what I got so inspired by is when I was a little girl and I saw the film for the first time, I was like, I want to be like Lexi's little sister and be all techie. So I actually bought a sort of spying, like think it whatever, and I still have like the magnifying glass, like an actual thing that you can actually see like bits and the powder. I still have it. It's in a box, like up over there in the heavens, but I still have it, and I bought it because I was like, I want to be like that. I just want to be like that.
So my sister just brought me coffee because she's nice.
Hi, that's so nice. I love that.
So what do we got? I mean, welcome to the podcast where anything happens. So we got something from Dunkin. Do you guys have Dunkin over?
We don't have Dunkin.
Okay, so this is their new chocolate cold foam thing.
Oh wow!
Let's try it. It looks kind of good. You guys don't see the video because I don't release video because I don't like videos. But okay, let's try it.
It looks amazing. See, like you guys have this like venti and like foam. We don't have any of that. Our drinks are very boring.
Dunkin just got this new foam. It's okay.
Is it not nice? Oh,
I don't love it.
But you don't hate it.
I don't hate it. But also, I do like Starbucks better than Dunkin' in the first place.
Oh no. You might hate me now.
Why? Do you not like Starbucks?
No. Like I don't know. Do you have Costa?
No. So maybe that's why.
That's why. Obviously we have Starbucks, but I love a good Costa.
Oh, now I want to go to the UK. When it is safe to travel, I'm going to be like pulling up. My goal for my senior year trip, my parents don't know this yet, but I want to go to like the UK before I start college and go to the House of Anubis, like filming, because it's like all in one area. Like I looked it up, like I have all planned out, like the house, the school, some of like the crypts that they used, the building that they used, in everything is in like one area.
Yeah. Do you remember that area?
I would love it. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we can totally make that happen.
Let's make it happen.
Will totally be your guide. I'll be like, let's go, Matthew.
I'm gonna do it. Senior year. Yes! They don't know this, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start planning now, and hopefully, like it'll be safe to travel, and hopefully.
Oh my goodness! Yes, absolutely. And then you can try Costa.
Yes. See, because we really have like Dunkin' and Starbucks where I am.
Oh my god, we have so many.
Well, I mean, there's like other ones. Like I know that there's other chains in the US, like Gloria Jeans. I don't know if you know what that is.
No.
Pete's Coffee. No.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. We have Pret Manger. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I've never heard of that.
Pret Manger. That's very posh. That's like the posh like coffee.
Oh, well, manger is like eat in French.
Yeah, so it's like Pret Manger.
And I'm pretty sure Pret is a French word. I should know this. I take French.
It's crazy. So we have Pret Manger. We have Cafe Nero.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Oh my god, this is so weird, but I love it at the same time. It's such an insight. I love this. We have Pret, Cafe Nero, Harrison Hall, obviously Costa, Starbucks. That's like the main coffee places, but personally, I like to go to like the small places.
Oh, I love small cafes.
Yeah, because I feel like they do. For some reason, I feel it tastes better, and
I think it tastes better too. There's one
incredible.
Not too far from my school, so like when I have play rehearsal, like I'll go to like there like before rehearsal and like grab something, or like whenever I like before school or anything. Yes! I just love it.
Like when I went to university, there's this one place. So I went to university and did music industry as a singer. So that's my BA. Hilarious. I get really weird and giddy when I say, "Oh my god, I have a BA in like music industry."
I mean, flaunt it. Like you worked hard for that, right?
Literally, like I all sweat, hard-earned tears. Let me tell you that for now. But yeah, no, when I graduated, there was this particular place, and it was called Fresco, and it's basically a little cafe from like it's all Greeks. So the Greeks, it's all Greek, like Greek coffee, Greek pastries, everything. And when I tell you that place is packed, that place is the only place that's packed. Even Starbucks and Costa,
oh my gosh, that is so cool. That makes me really
And
happy. Like in
yeah.
a small like cafe to like
Oh
have
my
that
god,
much
it is
business.
incredible. And it's so difficult to get a coffee or like a pastry. It was so difficult to go in and get one. But when you did, when I tell you the coffee is amazing, the Greeks do it so well.
Oh
Like
my
they're
gosh.
we're all good friends.
I'm building a bucket list now. I'm building a bucket list.
I need to take you to all these places.
Yes. Honestly, I'd be down. I mean, I need some good, like I said, this Dunkin', it's okay. It's just not
So
great.
what is it? It's like is
Oh,
it like a venti?
and so this is like a medium. Is like a medium, like,
Is it like a venti?
I guess, yeah. So it's like the size of a Starbucks venti that we would have.
Okay. Okay.
Dunkin' is like cheaper, like really cheap in the US, pretty
Okay.
much like compared to Starbucks. Like Starbucks is more pricey. Then you have Dunkin', which is not as pricey. And so Starbucks like has like the cold foam and all that. So Dunkin' decided to like be like
Copy.
Starbucks and
Yeah.
like get the sippy lids instead of like the straw lids. But personally, I like the sippy lids because, you know, like save the turtles.
Yes, absolutely.
Metal straws.
Absolutely.
I'm a huge reusable straw person, metal straw person. But
Yes, I'm as well.
oh my
The
gosh. And then I
multicolored
have my
one.
little also Starbucks like cup that I have.
Yes.
But so Dunkin', it tastes just like chocolate. I'm not like impressed.
Oh no. Oh
I
no.
think it's like they call it chocolate stout, which I don't know what stout is,
I'm not sure
but
what's
it
out.
sounds slightly like a fish. I'm pretty sure there is a fish called stout, but I don't think they mean like a chocolate fish. But yeah, so it's a chocolate stout, cold foam, cold brew. And the foam, unlike Starbucks, their foam usually stays. This foam like disappeared.
Disappears.
So,
Oh no.
but also Starbucks makes their foam like in-house. I heard
Oh
that Dunkin'
really?
uses a can.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So, there we go, Dunkin'.
There we go.
Honestly, I feel like what I might do is I might just like take all of our like comparing US and America stuff and put it in like a whole bonus episode. Just
Oh
like
my god, let's do it. Like,
because I
let's
feel
do
like
it.
it's so fun. Like I'm loving this like all this information. And we haven't even got to
Yeah.
the plot yet.
No, I know. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry.
What else do I have to do? Like we're in the middle of a pandemic. Like I can't really do
True.
anything. Like I think the only other thing I have today is because I make YouTube videos for my podcast
Of
like
course. Yeah.
too. So like they can use captions. I think I have to make one for next week's episode. Other than that, I have nothing to
free.
do. So let's honestly just keep going.
Let's go. Let's just go.
Okay. So I don't know if I'm going to be cutting that into a separate bonus episode, everyone, but we are here. We're
I'm
back.
gonna go.
So plot. So
Right,
the
let's
plot
go.
is a lot to unpack. So buckle up, get ready for this. This is a ride. So we start off with this song, like kind of like early 2000s pop playing. We got Lexi coming in, Lexi Gold, Lindsay Lohan.
Yep.
Why did I add a D at the end? Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan. It's a long day. It's fine.
It has been a long day, and it's only 1:33 for me in the
See,
afternoon.
It's about 7:30 in the afternoon for us. In the
Wow.
evening, shall we say?
Wow. Time differences.
I know.
You're the guest with the biggest time difference so far.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think the
damn.
other one, I did have a Canadian guest, which
Okay,
was
yeah.
Tori from Ready to Be Petty. I don't know if you know who that is.
I don't, but I will definitely check
Yeah.
it out.
I love that episode. We talked about Cheetah Girls.
Yes, I did see the episode. My bad.
Yes.
I don't know her, but I know.
Yes, no, check her out on Instagram. I love her podcast. And so she was from Canada, not from Canadian.
I love that. I do the same
And
thing.
so
It's fine.
I think there was only like a 2-hour time difference. I was ahead 2 hours, but you are 6 hours ahead. So I love
I
that.
know.
And you're also my first like British guest.
Yay!
It's
I
like a
love that.
celebration. I'm loving all of these people I'm connecting with from like around the world. Like it
It's
makes
so
me very
incredible.
happy. It makes me
Yeah,
so happy.
It's amazing. Like as I say, I'm very new to the podcast community. Because I only started my podcast in July 2020, but so far I have absolutely loved it, and I wouldn't change it any other way. Like it's connected me to you, to so many international
That makes me
places.
so happy.
And yeah, I absolutely loved it. And I can't wait for the rest of my podcast journey.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
know.
I'm
It's
so
so
excited.
good. Like I've met so many people. I'm having so many guests from like all over the US, the Canada,
Love
the
it.
UK, everywhere, and it makes me so happy.
Yes. Oh no, it's incredible. And yeah, I do like a co-host for the Sunday Night Army, which is literally purely for music, but he's actually Canadian. Jacob's Canadian. So we have like a regular co-host catch up, and it's like, oh my goodness, we have to, it's a little bit like you. It's like, oh, we have to schedule it because I'm ahead of you. So it's like, what time? I don't
I
know.
was actually surprised how easy it was to like figure out a time with you because I was like, and you were like, "Oh, I'll do it at like 1:30 in the morning for me." And I'm like, "No, I don't want to make you like stay up."
I know. I'm like, I don't mind. Like, we can stay up. I'm not fast.
I know, it's okay. It's okay. All right, we already
We did
broke
it.
our promise to stay on
Yeah,
topic.
sorry. Right.
It's okay.
We are not breaking any more promises. We are going to do this now.
Okay, so very, very elite. Lindsay Lohan, elite. I don't know if you guys call like your rich people like the elite, like the higher up people.
So we just call them the wealthy people. Like,
Oh yeah, the wealthy, the elite. That's like what we call in the U.S. Like so,
wow.
like the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. I don't know if you know who that is. He would be
Yeah,
considered elite. I mean, he makes like $1 billion a day, but
crazy.
but
Okay.
it's beyond me. But so she is very, very, she dresses very fancy, very higher up fashion stuff. And so she tries to get like a newspaper, school newspaper column, which I've always wanted to write for the school newspaper. We don't have a school
Yes.
newspaper, but I've always wanted to do
Really?
it.
So we do. So we still have the school newspaper, and actually, my friend Lisa, she does English literature at university, and she is one of the coordinate
Hmm.
person that does the school newspaper. That's generally a thing for us. For some reason, we just love that. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I don't know. I would honestly love to do it. Like I think
Yeah,
it
it's
started.
so
I think they had
cool.
it in House of Anubis. So
Yes,
I started watching that at like 5 years old.
I love that. That's just crazy. I love that.
I love that. Okay, and so she tries to compete with Jack, who eventually who is the editor, and they try to force that little relationship. You know, like we didn't like that.
I know, it's so annoying.
It was really annoying for me. And so she decides to publish this said article about Mr. Walker, who is going to eventually go missing and is found in his car, which is in a river.
Absolutely. How bizarre. How bizarre.
I think that's a TikTok sound.
It is.
I'm obsessed with TikTok. It's not even funny.
Like I use it as like I'm always described as the Phoebe Buffet from Friends.
Oh,
And
love Friends.
I
We don't have Friends on Netflix either.
What?
I think that's on HBO.
We
streaming
have
service.
we have Friends on Netflix.
I told you, you guys have the superior Netflix.
Oh my god, that's so sad. Oh no.
It is sad, I know.
But yeah, like I'm always described as the Phoebe Buffet from Friends. So if I can put a TikTok joke or any joke, I just will. That's
Oh my
just
gosh, I
me.
love that. No, I'm currently trying to use TikTok to promote the podcast, and
Yeah.
it's not going very well.
Oh really? Oh,
I
no.
personally, I hit 100 followers like last week, so that's super exciting.
That's
However,
amazing.
I think it's really hard to like TikTok's so hard to figure out like the algorithm and stuff.
Oh, don't get me started with algorithm. I'm even trying to know Instagram algorithm. Let's
Instagram has been really good. I don't know why, but all of a sudden, starting in like November of last year, I had been podcasting for like a year and a half, and like I
You've
only
been
had like
podcasting for long, yeah.
yeah for like I don't know. I only had like 90 followers, but then all of a sudden, starting in November, they just have been coming in left and right, and I don't know why. I have no idea like what I did.
It just you being so fabulous, Matthew.
Oh my gosh, stop. Don't feel my ego.
No, it is true though. It's just you being so fabulous
Oh my
and people
gosh.
loving you. So yes, embrace it, love it.
Yeah,
Own it.
I'm so happy. When I hit 1,000 followers, I was like shocked. Like last week. I think that was last week, yeah. But all of a sudden it's been really slow again, which is totally fine because I don't really care about the followers. It's more just like, oh my gosh, people are listening to the podcast.
That's yeah, I'm exactly the same. Like for me, it's more about the listeners and the quality of your podcast. Like as long as it hits, I have this memo. Like as long as it hits a particular person and they get something from my podcast,
Mm-hmm.
that's my goal. Cool, great, we've done
Yeah.
it.
And like the quality of the episodes too.
Yes, yeah.
For anyone
I'm
who's a
all
new
about the
listener,
quality.
don't scroll back too far.
Yes.
The first episode of mine is my most played episode with a crazy amount of listens. It is the worst episode.
But it's not because people keep listening to it.
I know,
It's
but
not
like
because
it's
people keep
just bad. I don't know, like the audio quality is so bad, and like it's just I had no idea what I was doing like whatsoever, and it's just really bad. But
I feel like we all go through that though.
But the best part of it is, and I hate to say this, but the best part of the pandemic has been discovering Zoom for recording.
Yes, because
before Zoom, I was just using my phone and my computer speaker and recording.
No.
It's really bad.
No.
But ever since start of season 3 that I did, which started like last June, audio quality went all the way up.
Literally, you are living in your audio quality.
I know. And ever since I actually started editing my episodes, so good.
Who knew editing is a thing?
Who knew? I mean, I don't like it that much, but you just do it. You sit there. What I do is I just like sit down with a snack and I just play the episode. If I have to edit something out, you edit it out. And then I made theme music. I made my own music for the podcast.
I love that so much. I think that's so amazing.
I know. I don't even remember how I did it. I just remember when I finally came up with a finished product, I was like, yes, yes, yes.
I love that.
And I made like a bunch of different versions. Like I have like the one that I play in the episodes, and then I have one for like when I start eventually getting ads, which I've got my first ad though. Like the one.
No way, that's so cool.
The one that comes out the week before this, there's gonna be an ad in it. It's my first one.
Yes! That's so exciting.
So I feel like I made it.
Well, congrats. That's absolutely incredible.
All right, guys, we already broke our promise.
Oh my god, we keep doing this.
Honestly, I'm honestly might just create the bonus episode because I'm loving these conversations. Okay, so
right, let's go.
Back on. So then Jen and Gabe start helping her to solve this mystery, and so hence why it's called Get a Clue.
Absolutely.
Because they need to find the clues to figure out the murder.
Yeah.
And so I counted 3 times that they said the words "get a clue" in this podcast.
Yeah.
Or in this movie.
In the movie.
So they said it once because I think Jen says it to Lexi, saying like, "Get a clue, he likes you," about Jack, who he didn't like.
No. Yeah.
And so
that was at the very beginning, right? When they
that was like
to put
really that was like right off the bat, and I was like, oh, they said the title, and I was like, maybe that's where the title comes from. But they say it a couple other times. Then they start investigating. This mystery makes no sense, like we said, whatsoever.
Very confusing.
And so Miss Dawson is like becoming involved because, you know, they were like together, they were a thing, they were dating, which honestly, they were kind of an odd couple.
Aren't they? Like, she's very weird as it is.
She seems really like introverted, and he seems super extroverted, like big.
Yes. And I don't get me wrong, opposites attract, but I'm just a bit like that. It's like two extremes,
very big opposites.
Yeah, like it really didn't make sense to me. So as for like character wise, I'm not a fan. Like I wasn't very much a fan of them.
They just didn't match personally.
No,
I mean, I can't really say anything. Like I have no experience, but like, you know, just like that's
just
good.
Yeah, no.
Just no. You just don't do it.
Just no.
It's like kind of like one of those weird high school couples where they think that they're perfect for each other. Like, this is not aimed at anyone who might be listening from my school, but just know that it's not.
Just know that it's not you.
And so now Jack gets a message for like that scholarship letter he recommends him for. I mean, go him, scholarship, yay.
Yeah.
But it was so weird to me.
Well, yeah, because
he was like supposedly dead.
Yeah, and obviously the email of his letter came during the disappearance of Mr. Walker. So it's like, hold on a minute, he's dead. So why is
so
there
that's like the
letter?
First little like warning sign, like the first little light bulb.
Yeah.
And around this time, I wrote the comment, Brenda's hair is iconic because
Yes.
her hair is like iconic for this whole movie. But I feel like around this point, she had her hair, like she had the pigtails, but like it was frizzy. It was so cute.
It was amazing. I
It was
loved.
iconic. I
As
love her.
again, I know they played her as the fashionista, but she
Yeah.
honestly
They
was a
didn't play her
fashionista.
super well, but her hair, so good.
Incredible. Yeah, I agree. It was so iconic, so nice. So yeah, 100%. 10
And-
out of 10 for that. 10
Yeah,
out of
10
10,
out of
for
10 for that. And so now they go and search the apartment of the teacher.
See, who the hell would put themselves into that? I'll be very honest. I would never put myself into that.
I would never do that.
I would never do
I
that.
feel weird going into my sister's bedroom when she's not there.
Yeah.
Like we have like our bedrooms are right next to each other, and like I like use her like before our podcast I was using her vanity to like fix my hair, whatever.
Yeah.
But like
yeah,
I
yeah.
just felt weird because she wasn't home. Like it's just weird. Like I can't even imagine going into someone else's home, like their living space.
It's very odd. Like I would never do that unless I have authorization to do that. I would never feel comfortable in just going to a random person's house.
Oh no, I would feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it's no.
Even at family members' houses, I feel so out of place.
Really?
Like I slept over at my aunt's house one time,
Or was it
and
odd?
I just was like it was so weird. I was like, I don't know. To me, even if it's family, I just feel really out of place. Like that's not my place to be. Like this is not my home.
It's not your space. It's
There's
not
like a fine
what
line,
your
like we
thing.
said.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I felt it was really weird. And also, you're putting yourself at risk because this is technically a murder case.
Yeah, it's a murder scene. Like technically, it's a crime scene. So why wasn't it like filled with police and like caution tape and like?
Yeah,
makes no sense.
yeah. Like that was annoying because I was just like, "Isn't this a murder scene?" So why, as you say, like,
why would you do that? Have
why-
they not seen like any episode of Pretty Little Liars, Riverdale? Like,
I don't think that that existed back then.
I don't think so.
Unfortunately,
But they should have.
they should have. They
Anyone
100%
who's seen
should have.
any episode of Pretty Little Liars would know. Like, just don't.
Just don't go there.
I don't know. And then this is also the scene when we see Jen and Gabe stalking her from the camera.
Yes.
And it's like going left, right, up, down. so uncomfy. Like it just made me so like it gave me secondhand embarrassment, like watching them be like just like me and you, like sitting here, like watching each other.
Watching each other.
Also, they like had a video chat at the beginning of like in the beginning of the movie, and their video chat is like so crazy, like how far we've come, like Zoom, like considered.
Literally, I was like, "Oh wow, that is a
Early 2000s
thing."
Zoom.
I
Like,
know. I was like, "Is that a thing? Oh wow, that is incredible!" And like, look at us now, we're on Zoom.
I know, we're on Zoom, and like I can't even believe like it's been out for like such a long time. Like I can't believe it took so long to like rise to fame. And for podcasters, if it's just like you and another person, so easy. I'm obsessed.
Yeah, no, it's incredible how times have changed. And I do think if it wasn't because of this pandemic, I don't think anyone would use Zoom. I think only business people would use Zoom because they have to. But because of the pandemic, obviously no one's able to see each other. So that's why Zoom was like, Zoom, this incredible device where you can see each other and loads of other people. And it was fantastic. So yeah, no, very weird how 2002 vibes of Zoom was and now 2021 vibes.
If I didn't know about Zoom, my audio quality would still suck and I wouldn't have 1,000 followers.
Oh my god, don't get me started. Like my audio would be like, no. Absolutely
it wouldn't
not.
be. It would not be. But it's okay. And so now they're keeping an eye on her disgustingly through this camera. And so they go and meet Mrs. Walker's mother, Mrs. Petrossian, who I didn't know if we talked about this. This is played by Sylvia Lennox. She just seemed iconic. Loved her. Her hair, her dress. She wants her grandchildren.
She's incredible. I love her so much.
And so then they also find him. He like changed his identity because they found a briefcase that said NP, and they're like, ooh, what's that? And then they're like, oh, Nicholas Petrossian, and then that's Mr. Walker, and then they find out that there's like this guy blackmailing them to come after them.
Which is obviously Professor Meany.
Professor
Detective
Meany.
Meany.
We can call him Professor Meany. That
We
sounds
can-
fun.
Professor Meany.
So he just was. There was like so much going on. There was like a black light. They had to like fix the lighter. They had to call in the little sister to find out what it said in the first place.
Yep.
And I was
Absolutely.
like so confused at first. I was like, wait, what? And then like I understood that he told the whole story. And then like you see the flashback to the Arizona. Also, side note, Arizona, I've never been there, but I really want to go. It's a state in the US. I don't know if you know that.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like the complete opposite of Wisconsin, which is where I'm from, where it's literally right now like 32 degrees, which is like freezing with snow on the ground.
Really? See, 32 degrees is fantastic for me.
Oh, well, Fahrenheit.
That's so hot. Like right now, it's like, yeah.
But it's
like-
also Fahrenheit, so I don't know. There might be a difference.
I don't know.
Let me look it up. Do you usually use Celsius or Fahrenheit in England?
I think we use both, to be honest. We don't really have like a particular one.
Oh, okay. So let's find out. So if it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit, it's 0 degrees Celsius.
Oh damn! Okay, well that's us right now, to be honest, because in the evenings we are so cold.
Yeah, it's a little cold. It's I don't like the cold, but you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So back on topic, because we're already breaking it, because whatever, I don't really care at this point. If you've been listening to the podcast for a long time, I get off topic. And also some of my listeners love when I go off topic. I don't understand how, but they love it. And
I feel like it just creates like a better and relatable you.
It's like a better vibe. And like, here's my favorite part is because when I record a podcast like this time of day, the sun comes directly in my window and is eventually going to directly just blind me. As you can already see on my microphone, the blinding is coming.
I love that.
But
unfortunately, I have to use my ring light so that you can actually see.
Oh yeah, I really want to buy a ring light for when I record at night, but I'm like, is it worth it? Because I don't release video, so like.
I mean, I use it.
It makes me look professional. Like, I'm gonna be professional.
Professional vibes. Loving it.
Yes. Okay. So back on topic for everyone who's like, just hurry up.
Yeah, because I'm just bored.
So they have to go to this hotel and they figure out the hotel. And so they go to this hotel. It's really weird. They also they go to the subway. I think we totally skipped over that, but they go to the subway and she's like, I've never been on the subway. Ooh. And it's just really weird. And I was just like kind of confused. I was like, why is the subway such a huge thing? Like, get over it. Then Walker's alive. And then it's really dark. It's really dark, this movie.
Yes, it is. It's quite, a twister and very dark compared to every other movie they've done.
I think this is definitely the darkest one that I'm covering in April.
For sure.
It's the darkest one.
And Matthew, it's spring. Like, hello. This is very dark for spring.
Like, what is on my thing for April? Hatching Pete. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No, that's not no.
It's a little bit more recent. It's like 2009. Go Figure.
Yes.
That one.
Yeah, I love that.
And then Frenemies, which came out in 2010. 12. Yeah.
12.
So, yeah. That's like, then you have like, get a clue. The darkest.
The darkest. Love it.
Okay. So back on topic for everyone. So they show up at the hotel and they like, all these people are like here. Like the teacher that they thought was going to be there. Like everyone is there. So like this person's the villain. No, this person's the villain. Like, no, like they did that for like 10 people.
They're all the villain.
And then like they see the homeless guy because the homeless guy also had his coat, which was really weird. And you're like, why would he have his coat? But then we find out that he was like a social experiment to like see who would help out a homeless person. Yeah. And so Mr. Walker or Nicholas, whatever you want to call him, gave the coat to the homeless guy. So that's why he has the coat. And so they're at this meeting. It's like a city council meeting. And then you find out that Mr. Professor and Detective Meany, whatever you want to call him, is the villain. He like storms in. He's also the same guy from Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yes, I have seen. Yes, I have seen him. Yes.
That movie, I covered that not too long ago during like Halloween because we were like, spooky.
I love Halloween. Yes. It's like
Halloween.
one of my favorites. Seasons.
And so from there, then we find out the real story behind Mr. Professor Detective Meany.
Yes.
He was the boss, whose real name is like Granville, Mr. Granville, and he was the boss, and so he framed Mr. Walker back then because he was jealous of his success.
I mean, let the haters hate, right?
Yeah, the haters are gonna hate. Taylor Swift, love her. And so they like figure everything out. Also, they do this in style. Like the outfits in the scene were so good.
Oh my god! Like it's such a fashion.
The all black outfit on Lindsay Lohan.
Oh my god! Oh, just iconic. Again,
so
iconic. Like I know we've said iconic so much, but it generally is iconic.
Yeah, this movie is iconic.
Who knew being all in black is beautiful?
Yeah, I don't know. And like the glasses. She also had really good glasses on in this scene too.
Absolutely. Which is obviously the main thing on the cover.
That's like her main style aspect is the glasses. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I'm living. I'm here. That's it.
So now once they figure it out, they finally figure out what happened to the money because of this brooch, which is like a little thing that you put on your outfit. I think the only reason I know that is from Riverdale, which is kind of sad.
Yep. A little brooch. Yep.
And so from there, then things get kind of crazy because Mr. Walker is free. And then we see that little scene on the bench and she's like, he has a question to ask me. Ooh.
Oh, I wonder what it is.
And then it is that there's he's gonna marry her.
He's gonna marry her.
They're gonna get married and have grandchildren, apparently.
Yeah. See, like even just talking about it, it's just like this is so twisted in so many ways. So
weird. Also, we kind of skipped over this, but there's like this weird scene where like the cake ends up on the guy, like the villain.
Yes.
It made no sense. All of a sudden, they like threw the thing, and the cake just comes crashing down. And I was like, "For what?"
Literally.
For what? He was already captured, essentially.
But basically, they just wanted to put a bit of cake. I feel like that was a very much of a Cruella de Vil sort of thing.
Yeah, I feel like it was just so weird. Like some of those parts just like felt so out of place for me.
Yeah, there's so many things that just doesn't make. Some of the scenes don't really make sense. It's just a little bit like gobbledygook. It's like
yeah, it's
and
like
then
just thrown together.
Yeah, literally
like a last minute group project. Like
exactly. Although it's a great film. It's great. I will not. Yeah, I won't diss it because when you watch it, it is fabulous. But yeah, when you're talking about it and like you're literally saying scene after scene after scene, like you're saying like the plot. This is the plot. It's just so confusing. It's like it really doesn't collide.
It doesn't work in some parts. But some parts are really good. But some parts are just like really bad.
Exactly.
And like, to put it nicely. And so they figure out that everything happens. They get married. They have all the fun stuff, and it's just like a happy ending. They start forcing those relationships, not so happy ending. And then I wrote something down, and I don't know why, so maybe you can help me. Something about fungi in the end. Jen says something about fungi. Like like wearing someone's shoes or something.
I'm not.
I don't know. I don't know why I wrote it down.
Fungi. I think I know exactly. So basically, Jack is a bowler. He loves to.
Oh yes, the bowling.
Bowling. Oh. He's a professional bowler. So obviously, all his competitions are all with bowling, and Jack never had He's never had a pair of shoes for his competitions. He's always had to borrow from obviously a bowling place.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So I think Jen is like referring to the whole, oh my God, like lurgies, like fungi on the shoes. Like, no.
It was really weird. I will give you that. It was really weird. But I loved it. So that's essentially the end. And then they're like, living in New York City is something blah, blah, blah. And then they end it with, if you don't like New York, then you have to get a clue.
Which for me doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It's so confusing. It's like, what do you mean? Like, you don't live in
they said so, like we said, they said the title about 3 times, but it just made no sense. I was just like, ooh, okay. Well,
what do you mean? Like, if I don't live in New York, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, if I don't live in New York, then you have to get a clue. Which for me doesn't make sense. Like, it
doesn't make sense.
What do you mean I won't get a clue?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Are you referring to like I need to live in New York to get a clue?
I
Like,
mean, I've always wanted to go to New York. I've never been to New York, but
I've never been to the US, so this is something I have to do as well.
yeah, I mean, New York is great. I mean, like you have like the classic New York, California,
Of course.
Florida, if you want to go to Florida.
Do you know what? Very funny you should say that. Me and my girlfriends really want to go to Florida, Disney.
Okay,
and
Disney, Florida, and Universal Florida.
That's
good.
what we want to do.
Anything outside of that,
No.
good luck.
Okay, no. Okay.
So
I will tell them.
I mean, I'm gonna have some listeners from Florida that are gonna like come at me, but just be careful.
Don't hate. Just don't hate. Like it's fine. Like
just be careful.
just be careful.
So I guess that wraps up the episode, but we have to rate and answer our question. So that wraps up like the plot. So
Dun, dun, dun.
rating. I am told I'm a harsh rater.
Okay.
However, at first I was gonna give this movie like a 7.5, but I think I'm gonna have to bump it up to like an 8.5.
Okay.
Which is pretty high for me.
That's really high. And I'm actually very happy to say that I actually agree with you. I will definitely give it an 8.5, 9, even a 9.
It's up there. At first, when I first watched it, I couldn't appreciate it enough. And that happens with most of the movies I watch on the podcast. I'll watch it and I'll be like, oh, but then when you talk about it and you break it down, like we said, it makes it better. Like you appreciate more parts
100%.
of the movie.
100%. And obviously, as I say, and as I repeat again, we might be biased because we love Lindsay Lohan so much. And obviously, who does
we
not
probably
like a
are
movie?
biased. Like this whole
We
podcast
are.
is biased.
It is. But I too would also give it like an 8.5, 9 because it's so. We've been using iconic a lot in this podcast.
It's iconic.
But it is iconic because it's 2002 vibes. It's literally like everything that you want. Mystery, yes, crap love relationships, but you know, you get that the sort of school vibes, the getting somewhere in New York. Like you have to remember this is all in New York City, like the best place to be.
Yeah, and that's what they call it. And like usually, it's like New York, the place to be.
Exactly. So I know we've said that like the storyline doesn't make sense. Or,
there are parts. It doesn't make sense for sure.
Yeah, like although we've said that, I would still rate it a very good rate because it is so nice. It's just a nice, easy, pleasy, vibey film. I think
and I'll watch it. Like I'll watch it again. Like there are films I've watched for the podcast I will never watch in my entire life again. I will watch this again. Like I feel like if I'm ever babysitting again, I could watch this with I feel like there's like I mean maybe with not like a super young child because like it's a little dark.
For their views, yes.
But I feel like it's iconic. It's great. I love it, and I'm so glad that you picked it.
Yeah, no, I when I saw it, I was like, we have to get a clue because it's actually one of my favorites. Obviously, I love Confessions of a Drama Queen.
Yes.
Like that's me to the T. But that film is one of my favorites out of all. And like I know that I might be talking out my backside, but out of all of the Disney Disney Channel originals, like that was one of my favorites by far.
Wait, okay, this might be is Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen a Disney Channel original movie? I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
Okay, because some people said it was, and I was like, no, because I have the list. I just got it from Wikipedia, which is not always a reliable source. But like, I have like on my website, I have like the list of all of them, and like you can click to listen to the certain one once I've covered it. And I don't know, there's like some on there that I was like, I don't think these are DComs. I don't know. I don't think it is.
I think it's definitely a Disney movie.
It's definitely a Disney movie. I just don't think it's Disney Channel. However, I feel like Disney Channel might kind of market it as that because they can like play it on their channel, I guess.
Yeah. And that's literally, but I don't think it's a decom, no.
Yeah, I don't think it's a decom either.
Whereas Get a Clue is definitely
100% a decom. The whole story, everything about it is a decom.
It literally is, yeah. So 100%. But yeah,
Okay.
as it goes, Get a Clue is one of my faves. Absolutely love it.
100%. So now, if this movie came out today, do you think you would like it? Do you think it'd be as good? Do we think we would vibe with it, or?
Do you know what? It pains me to say it, but I don't think I would.
I don't think I would either. I feel like it's perfect for 2002.
Yeah. And it's perfect for 2002, and if I watch it now, I appreciate it because it's a 2002.
For 2002.
Yeah. Literally.
But now I just feel like it doesn't hold up. Like, it personally felt very 2002. Like, it doesn't feel 2021. It doesn't feel like current at all, but that's okay because I don't want to say like a period piece because like it's clearly not a period piece, but like kind of as we start growing, like going back in like time, I guess it does essentially just fit well in that time period. Because I feel like we've come so far, it just doesn't work.
Absolutely. And I think like the old New York and the whole like living in New York and that whole like that whole fantasy of when you're a child, obviously you don't know what you want to be when you're older. I mean, some people do, some people don't. I personally didn't. I've
changed my career so many times, like what I want to do. I still change it to this day, but currently it's a teacher.
And hopefully it is a teacher because I think you would be an incredible teacher.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Everyone says that. So like that's why I kind of want to do it. Because
that
was what originally when I was a kid, I wanted to be a teacher. And then I kind of like got away from that for a while. But now I kind of want to be a teacher again. So.
Yeah, no, I love that. And yeah, I feel like, as I said, like when you're kids, you think you can be incredible and you can do anything you want. So like back in 2002, you saw that movie and you're like, I want to be a spy. Woo! Like I'm going to like rule the world and I'm going to like discover different things. And I guess like when you saw the film like at school, you'd be like, cool, what can I find out? Like, let's get the inside scoop.
I always wanted to be like a spy, and like watching it all goes back to House of Anubis. Like watching that show made me want to like find some like cool mystery like in my house. Like there was gonna be something there.
It's so true. And also like for me, it was like Kim Impossible as well. Like Kim Impossible was very my time. And I was like, oh, you could be like a normal regular girl, but at night you're a spy and you get to do all these crazy things. And I feel
like this movie just fueled that idea.
Exactly. It just fueled all like everything that you want to do as a kid. It just like nothing's impossible. You can do it. But obviously once I got older and I you know, you kind of have that mixed game of whatever. And then when I got older, I was like, I want to do music. And that was me. So when obviously High School Musical came out and like all of these other
music,
things.
That was another thing that I've toyed with. It was like music.
Yes.
Because I sing and I dance.
You sing and you dance? Why didn't you not tell me?
I guess we haven't, like, we've touched on every topic, I think. But
I know. Oh my god, Matthew, I can't believe you're a singer. We need to do something together.
We should. I don't know. I need to work. I'm going to be in a musical this spring, a spring musical.
Oh my god, what musical? Can you reveal that?
It's called Vaudeville Tonight. It's not very good.
Okay.
But I have to watch what I say because I didn't say this on the podcast yet, but I found out that my school principal and my entire administration know about my podcast.
Right, okay, so maybe we're just not going to mention it. Maybe we're just not going to say anything.
And also, I can edit it out too, but
exactly.
I'm not very excited.
No, okay.
It takes place in like the 1800s.
Oh no.
And I don't know if you know the song Yankee Doodle. It's a very patriotic U.S. song. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony, whatever. That is like the theme song of the musical.
Wow. Yay!
Yeah. Yay! This is for you, Mr. Kelly.
Oh, yay! We love that. But yeah, no, as I said, I agree with you. I don't think I would watch it now and think, oh, this is so incredible. Like, oh, like this is the best film. No, I wouldn't. And that's so sad. That's really sad because I wouldn't want to say that about one of my favorite movies. But yeah, if I watch it now, I appreciate it. That is 2002.
I do appreciate it. I do.
But I wouldn't watch it now.
But I'll still watch it.
I still watch it.
I'll watch
yeah.
it in its state, in its
Yes.
what it is for right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, this wraps up the episode. And so, if you wouldn't mind, can you tell my listeners where they can find you on social media, where your podcast is, like how to check it out, all the things?
Of course.
Advertise yourself.
Advertise, like, let's go. So, yes. So, as I say, I've got a amazing podcast, if I do say so myself, called Confessions of a Talking Freak. Oh, thanks so much.
I was listening to one of them in like preparation for today's episode because like I was like got to do my research.
Of course.
Also,
absolutely.
Your art, you do amazing art.
Oh, thank you. I literally I used to do graphic design back at college, and then no, not graphic design, fashion illustration.
Oh.
So that was very much like what I used to do, like a lot of like Photoshop and graphics-y stuff. But then because I pursued music, I didn't go back to do it. So I was very rusty at the very beginning. And then because of the pandemic, there was nothing for me to do. So I was like, well, let's relearn all the skills that you learned.
Oh my gosh, no, it's so great. And then when you DM'd me like that voice message and you're like, I want to make art, I was fangirling. I was like, oh my god.
Yes. Yeah, I'm totally gonna put so just a little sneak peek like to everyone. Obviously it will be out before anyway.
Yes.
But I'm gonna do some really cool art with Matthew and my face, and we're gonna do like a Get a Clue sort of cover vibe. So it'll be so sick.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Like I'm when you like sent me your image, I'm like, I haven't emailed, but I hope he appreciates it that I have got it and I'm ready.
Okay.
Like,
yes. I assumed you did, and I was just like, yeah, she got it.
Yeah, no, I got it.
And I had like a hard time picking a picture of myself, but I think that one's good because I saw the glasses, and I was like, yes, she has glasses.
That's completely vibe. Yes, I was like, I really hope.
So
I was like, I really hope Matthew sends me like a picture of like glasses or just like a cool or just standing cool. Like I
did
just
post those on my personal Instagram, but I did take them down. But for you, I sent it.
Yeah. Exciting. Yeah, amazing. So so Confessions of a Talking Freak, it's literally a podcast about anything and everything. And I know a lot of podcasts, go out there and say, oh yeah, my podcast is about anything and everything. But what I love about my podcast is
literally about anything and everything.
It literally is. And I like to describe it as like here in the UK, like on a Friday or a Saturday night, you order yourself a takeaway because no one cooks on a Friday or a Saturday. Like,
never.
It's
not
a
Saturday right now, and we're going to go get takeaway, whatever you want to call it.
Literally, my takeout is literally downstairs as we speak. So I'm gonna go.
I hope I'm not keeping you.
No, you're really not. Don't worry. But like it's literally ready when I'm like done. Like
good.
I'm
you deserve
going.
it. You deserve it.
And you watch you get yourself a takeaway, and then you watch like this entertainment like Britain's Got Talent or X Factor, like stuff like that. And it's not amazing, but it's just entertaining.
It's
TV.
entertaining. No, I totally get it. No, I was really entertained.
Yeah.
Listening to your podcast.
So yeah, that's the whole point of my podcast. Obviously, it's not crap. Like I find X Factor and Britain's Got Talent quite crap, but but for me, it's just entertainment and it's a vibe and it's just real. Being relatable to everyone. I class myself as a freak, and that's why I called it Confessions of a Talking Freak.
No, I love it, and it's like kind of like Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen.
Yes, that was a little bit of my inspiration of it. Not gonna lie.
No, I love it so much. No, go check it out, everyone, and you guys can find her on Instagram and everything, and I'll have those links like in the show notes below too.
Yes, absolutely. So literally, your Spotify, Apple Podcast. Anything
wherever you get your podcast.
Instagram is obviously at Confessions of a Talking Freak. If you want to do my personal, it is at Karina Freitas X. If you want to know a bit like more about my radio stuff and my singing stuff, you can follow me on there. But literally, I post every single or every so often I post on my podcast, and it's at Confessions of a Talking Freak. So yeah,
pretty cool art. So I'm really excited for the art.
Thank you so much.
So I guess now for my socials, you guys can follow me on Instagram at That's So Matthew, Twitter at That's Matthew1. I kind of suck at tweeting, but I'm getting better at it.
I love it.
If you use Facebook, facebook.com/that'ssomatthew. You can find me on YouTube at that youtube.com/that'ssomatthew, and I post all my episodes there, and you guys can listen and have captions if you choose. What else? Oh, you guys can also check out my website, that'ssomatthew.com, for some fun stuff on there. I think that's everything. Oh, and I also have an email newsletter that you guys can join too. That'ssomatthew.com. On there, you guys can join that. I think that's it. So thank you so much, Karina. I had a great time. This was amazing.
Thank you so much. This is honestly, I'm
am happy to say that you will now hold the record for the longest episode ever.
So sorry in advance, but like I'm so happy.
Don't be sorry, because I think I've decided I'm just gonna keep it in. I think it's an adventure of like us getting to know each other and like comparing the US
and UK.
And I think that's totally amazing. And so you beat out my friend Sarah, which ours is like an hour and a half, and I think we've been talking for about like 2 hours on the recording. So you've done it.
Oh my. I'm so. I always do this. I talk so much. I'm so sorry.
Some of it might we might get like a little rearranged, maybe. I don't know. If it like is out of flow, but it'll all be there because I just think it's a great episode. I think this is easily one of my favorites I've ever done.
Oh, I'm so glad. This is like out of all the people that I've collabed with, like I've been so excited to collab with you.
I know. I was so excited. Yeah. So thank you again so much. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope we didn't get too off topic for you. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in another episode again soon. Bye.